It's Mornings on the Beach. I'm Charley Sharp, and joining me this morning it is Etcetera. What's going on today? How's your day going? Is the snow melted in New York yet?
Yeah, it's gone. It's almost gone. I mean, it came down like 3 straight times, and it almost pulled me in. So everything's good.
Nice. Well, we got the music to get us through. We got your hot new single we've been playing on air, By Your Side. Tell me about that when you were working on that with Trisha.
Well, we first premiered it when I was in LA for the Grammys last year to see how it would go as far as how crowd reaction of it. And knowing that she's a Los Angeles native now, she was, it came across almost like tremendously. It was a widespread because we were actually doing the shows with Wyclef for some nights. And then it was Scarface the other night. And it actually shut down the entire event. So, it was only inevitable that when the COVID started leveling off, that would be the next single. She was like, I thought I wanted to get like a whole 90s feel again, because that whole sound is resurfacing and it's one of the golden era sounds. So, and one of my favorite records was Mary J. Blige and Method Man. So when I came across this record, it's the first thing sort of popped in my mind. And By Your Side was something that, her daughter wrote. The chorus was her daughter. I know I'm a great writer. I get all these acclaim, but she wrote it and it just blew me away. And I was like, we got to use it. And it just turned out that way. So the reception for that song, knowing that it almost gives you that feel of the Method and Mary song, is coming across great. So we're just going to move forward with that record. And of course, I gave it to DJ Charley Sharp first to see what it sounds like. And he gave me the okay. So I'm definitely going. Trisha was like the 90s from Columbia Records. She was like the 90s.
We're in a weird time. Of course, you're usually in LA this time of year for the award season. Of course, Grammys is coming up on March 14th. But you talked about earlier, you have a Oscar contention for one of your songs. Let's talk about that.
Well, November 2019 is a movie that came out called Bare Knuckle Brawlers, which I had the pleasure of being the executive soundtrack producer and also the music supervisor for. It was an independent movie. And it actually, when it dropped, it was like an MMA movie. The director, John Ganalius, it actually surfaced and moved slowly because of COVID, but then it picked up and became like a nice little streamer, as I call it. I don't know the terminology for it, but it's my third soundtrack that I've done. And I did the lead song called Brawler. It was produced by Phenomenon, which his name is Morocco Turner, and we came together and put together like one of the hottest records, I think. But when it was submitted to the Oscars, they accepted it, and which blew me away, because for 3 years I've been trying to like come into that world. I've done the Grammy world, so as an artist you have to elevate. Said they wanted it and it was going into consideration, I almost lost my mind. And, because of technicalities, it didn't make it. But everybody, certain people would take that as like, a loss. But I actually took it as a win because of, as an artist from Brooklyn coming up through the ranks and now being considered in that, that top 30 tier. I'm like, Oscar consideration was something that was not even on the table. So just for them even acknowledging my record and taking the time to email and this record is awesome and this is just the rules of this, like, mind blowing. So just for my name being in that conversation amongst some of the greats, the great actors of the world, like, Tom Hanks, and feel like that's like just like a check in my notch, and it only could get better from this point on.
Well, I want to thank you because we've got to talk about something here. Look at this! Look! Yes, I want to thank you for sending this cool award. I've never had anything from any of the artists, so I want to thank you so much for this. And let's talk about this song, because it was one of the first ones we played with you, right?
Yes.
I remember you coming out to LA and talking about it. And I remember I think you were caught in traffic that day. Was that the day you were caught in traffic? And like you literally, someone picked you up at the parking. I think I ran out to the loading dock or whatever. We ran you in and got you on air.
Well, in LA, it's always traffic. That's standard operating procedure in LA.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, that was like the ultimate. I had the greatest time because I did, 2 shows that day in your presence. And, it doesn't matter. When I come to LA, I have to come to your show. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter where am I going, what am I doing, I have to make time because you supported me for like a lot of years, from my last album that reached the gold status to this single that reached the gold status. I'm just like, there's nothing else. That song was Way Up, combined with the dual single, combined with featuring Billions, Way Up featuring Billions, and Dance For You featuring Kaya Jones, formerly of the Pussycat Dolls. Those songs actually reached phenomenal status that I understand. I mean, that was just at the point it reached the 500,000 stream download. It's way past that right now. But when I first got the Music Streaming Awards, acknowledgement, I was out of control. And when you and I spoke about that, I was like, I noticed how other artists send plaques to like the attorney, the DJs. I said, now is my turn. So, those plaques had to go out. It had to go out. There was no other question.
And, 500,000 streams, I always want to think about, did you ever, when you said you're in your studio right now, but when you're writing a song, does that ever come into play like, wow, I want to get this thing to 1 million streams? Or what's sort of in your head when you're putting your lyrics together?
Well, you know that the music industry is a business. Mm-hmm. It has to start somewhere. Streams, I don't think about record sales. I think about pleasing the audience that supported me over the years. I think about, the DJs that supported me over the years. What would they be, what would they be honored to play? What would they want to play from, etc. So what I do is I write records and I think about, I'm standing in front of a crowd of maybe 50,000 or more, and who's going to bounce their head? Who's going to say, I love him? I also think about what type of outfit I'm gonna wear when I do it, because that's
Hey, I was thinking about that today too. I gotta dress. It's we're doing this video stuff, so that brings it up. So, do you have any plans? I know it's a weird year, but I think things are opening up, and are the crowds coming back and the live gigs? I can't wait. I was doing a show earlier, and it's like I was reading some of the DJs are planning live streams and live events. So I'm really, really excited. Maybe the summer's going to open up.
Yeah, artists are coming out, doing a lot of streaming. I'm getting a lot of the booking agencies calling me like, what's new? We know that the single is still playing. We want to know if you're doing anything new. From the last, you're only good as your last performance.
Absolutely, yep.
So they said with those performances, you drawed a crowd of almost 5,000-6,000 just in that moment. And, they're looking to say, can we pack? And I love the Miracle Theater because in LA, because it really, the audience really absorbed me, and each and every night. And then the other locations where we went to, like in San Francisco, Mississippi, and Georgia, those other areas were like, we want you back. Even I was headlining for South by Southwest, and then it got shut down. I was one of the headlines. Let me rephrase that. I was one of the headlines for South by Southwest, and then it got shut down. But they're looking to say, but they're not fully back. So I'm looking forward to the new single coming out. I'm looking forward to touching that stage again, because I got some new sneakers. When it comes to records, I'm doing the albums coming. It's called Sagittarius, because that's just my sign, and I'm showing a lot of growth because of the last album, Character. I want to show that the growth is really upward. And I'm looking forward to how it's perceived, because I got a lot of treats on this one with a lot of different features. people were home, so they're like, oh, okay, I'll get on this. So, plus over the vacation, between the movies, I was doing the soundtracks, the music supervisor. I was actually doing music with an artist named Father Goose that I've always been working with, formerly of Playhouse Disney. And those 2 records came out and they did phenomenal on the family music charts. And, the videos came out and people get to see Etcetera now in that light, but more in that light that I am a diverse artist. I can't even, hold reins on that. And we also get a chance to show my talents. And I am a phenomenal writer. I can't say that. And I got to say, because I don't want to take that away from myself. But, I got a chance to work with some great artists. I got a chance to make some great music and do some great projects, honestly. So over the pandemic, I got the song that you have, Way Up, got nominated for an HMA Award, which is a Music Media Award. It got nominated for Hollywood Music Media Award.
Yeah.
And I never thought writing that record, Way Up. I wrote that record in the Dominican Republic on vacation.
Wow. Were you on the beach? You were laying on the beach?
No, in the pool.
Oh, in the pool. Okay.
And I wrote it in the sun. And I got a tan. And it was I never thought that it would reach the level, even when I wrote everything on a Dance For You. I wrote the whole entire record, the R&B part, and, I even referenced it. And I did it with a wonderful young artist, besides Kaya Jones. I did it with Tara, Jamel Jones. Excuse me, let me get her name correct. She killed me. Yeah, and she wrote for artists like Chris Brown, Destiny's Child, so forth. The list goes on. So, she actually is my autocorrect when I do things. The other project that was phenomenal, and I never thought it would reach this status, but now I have to come with this album because I don't want to do another record and not have a follow up because they're I'm getting radio stations, radio directors, and they're taking a lot of notice. So I want to keep the strike while the iron's hot.
All right, he is the spinner winner, I guess, the streamer man himself, Etcetera. Shout out your socials. Where can we go for more information? Because I know everybody's dying to get on. And, we want you to come back to L.A. one of these days as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely coming back to L.A. This time I could ride on a private jet. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, they let me get on the private jets now. But no, my social media is The Real Etcetera. You can go to the website. Those that still know what websites are, it's called IamEtcetera.com. And you can see mostly everything up there. Big shout out to Ilse Hu, which is my New York PR that's really doing it. I like the huge shout out to Deborah, which is strictly she's out there in LA. She's a great PR. She was my go-to. She was my first PR out there. And I still go to her now. But I like to shout out to everybody at Idol Music Group, the label, United Masters, Sony Music. Guys are doing amazing jobs out there on all the labels. They're doing amazing jobs in this pandemic, and I believe that they're working these records the best they know how and effectively.
All right, that is Etcetera. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Hey, thank you so much, DJ Charley Sharp. Listen, I want to let you know.
Yeah.
If anybody's looking at those pillows behind me, I put them there for a reason. I'm an iHeart charter, and I would like to say, when you release something, iHeart is always listening.
Yeah, I want to shout you out again. We've kind of kept a secret, but we're going to finally announce it. So I'm officially on iHeart Radio on the platform, and this podcast will be on there. And it's a lot of hard work, man. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but I'm very excited. But I'm jealous because I don't have the pillow yet. I don't know who I call. I have to call somebody. Maybe I'm getting the pillow somehow. I want the pillow.
I know. That's it. They were hard to come by. When they said I could have them, I told them I stuffed them in my bag. I was Professor Clump. I was going in my jacket. Listen, I'm out of here. They was like, you gonna take listen, and only thing I could get is those two pillows because, that's all I could fit. But it's a great organization. I'm telling you, you will love it. I loved it. since the record I did with Tory Lanez. They've only embraced me, and I'm glad that you joined the family. And I'm very, very proud of you, man. You don't really understand. I'm very proud of you.
Well, people don't realize this whole relationship between the artists and radio airplay. It's a huge thing. And, people say people are listening to radio. They're listening to your songs. They're listening to the DJs on air. So people are supporting that. And that's a real important fact that, I need you as much. We need each other. The artists need the DJs, and the DJs got to have music to play. So, yeah, it's kind of this great relationship we have back and forth.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And they also got to have camaraderie. And I know everybody's on this, I'm this and I'm that. We're no one without the DJs. Like the DJs is no one without us. We have to work together because we're both artists, and we're just as important to each other as we are to the industry.
All right. That is the real Etcetera. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Thank you. And you have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. You and everyone that's listening and watching.
You too. Stay warm in New York.
Yeah. That's hard to do right now. All right. Talk to you later.
Okay.